Hi everyone, Sarah here. Today we're going to get into the fear that you can't handle the consequence. So many people, myself included, not as often anymore, and I'd be lying if I said it never happened, but so much in the past, so much when I was stuck in my own pain story, in my story of the trauma of the things that I had been through, because I was so wrapped up in who I said I was, but I didn't feel that that's who I was, or at least I didn't feel that that's who I wanted to be. And so I would get stuck up in the consequences of thinking I can't handle it. I just can't. And words and phrases fly out of your mouth that sound like I just can't. I just can't. Ha ha ha. When really it's not a laughing matter, because you really truly feel that you're embodying this energy of I can't handle this and what the consequences will be. And there's fear wrapped up in the consequences. It's like a little package of a present that you are afraid to open. It's like one of those little Jack in the Box things where you're like, it's gonna be in there. And all the while you're handling it, but in the story of your mind, I can't handle the consequences. And when you're in a very manipulative, abusive, and toxic relationship, your mind gets trapped in fear mode. It literally feels like it gets locked and stuck in there, like you're in a prison of your own mind. I remember this feeling vividly, feeling like when I would go home, like the sound of the garage door closing behind me was like dun dun dun, like what you're gonna walk into. You feel like you're walking into a firing squad and you're afraid of consequences. I just can't. And when you feel this inside of you, I need to get out of this. Like I can't live this way. I don't deserve to live this way. How did it get to be this way? You get stuck in the fear of consequences. Well, if I leave then, and you get trapped in this if then game. If I do this, then this will happen, then they'll do that. And you think about the consequences more than what the action and the next step you need to take is. And it may not be to just jump ship and leave right away. It may be, what do I need to give myself today? It may be, I need to allow myself to sleep on this. I need to allow myself to counsel with someone around this. I need to allow myself to truly begin to do the inner work so that I have the inner strength that it will take when I'm out. There's not a perfect ideal plan for everyone, but some people get wrapped up in the fear of consequences. And so where we are and where we desire to be, we look at this and then we look at that and we see, oh my God, there are so many things I need to do to get from here to there. That's impossible. That's going to take forever. I don't have what it takes, because then, if this, then that, if this, then that, if this, then that. And if I leave, then they'll do that. And then and we feel the energetic weight and pressure of the stories that we're creating as we get wrapped in the consequences. So here's what's going to happen if this happens. You don't know that. And that is the truth. The truth is you don't know that. The truth is that you're postulating that you're guessing that you're thinking that. And then you may tell yourself that truth. I don't know that. And then hear another voice that says, yes, I do. Look at what they did last time. Look at what's going to happen. But there may be other energies and other things in play that you can't see yet. Those things that are in your blind spot. I can tell you from my own personal experience, there are so many things that happen that I did not believe were possible or could ever happen. And it truly was by the grace of God and by the grace of doing the own inner work to really connect deeply with myself and the fundamental truths of who I believe I am because of what I've been through. So when you're doing those in collaboration with each other, when you're doing the inner work while you're going through the things that you're going through to really help put your life and your mind and your state and your heart in a really healthy, solid, grounded state after coming out of however long the experience of emotional abuse and neglect, or the experience of being with a narcissist, things just seem to work out, and things just seem to work out. And you're thinking, how did that work out? I never saw it going that way. Or I never thought I had what it would take to get through something like that. And that is the energy behind you that can propel you and motivate you and inspire you and encourage you to continue going in the direction that you know is right for you, and stop the feeling of pressure of being pulled back into a space where you feel like you're just a complete failure. So in that, we fear the consequences. We connect with the consequences. We project what we believe the consequences will be. And in that, it keeps us stuck and feeling heavy, defeated, and deflated. That is what takes us out of this present moment. And when you're taken out of the present moment, you're taken out of your power, because you're putting yourself into a space of existence that doesn't exist. You're putting yourself into a fear-based state. And it's very natural, normal, and easy to do that without even recognizing that you're doing that. But when that occurs, you feel helpless. Feels like there's nothing I can do about this. And that's when you get led to doing things that you don't want to do, or that you end up beating yourself up for having done afterwards. And then you get stuck in the shame spiral. So when you get stuck in the place of fearing the consequences, understand you've already been through so much. You've already lived through the consequences. They're generally not that far off from what they've already been. When you've been in a relationship with a narcissist, you've already gone through hell. And now you're fearing getting out and living through hell. You already have. So in that, there's power in the truth that you already have. You already have what it takes. You already have what you think you don't have that you'll need to get what you want. Does that make sense? So you're fearing the consequences, and you've already experienced them. So you're fearing what you've already experienced. And if that's true, what else is true is that you have what it takes to do what you need to do for yourself, for your children, for your future, for a better life for you, for a better life for them, for a better life and an overall, like, just feeling of wholeness. They want you to fear the consequences because they want you to live in a state of fear, because when you live in a state of fear, you live in a state of feeling frozen and unable to move, a state of panic, a state of I can't do anything, and anything that I could do, I don't have the resources or time or energy or ability or capacity to do. So therefore I'm going to stay here. And they want you there, because when you're there, they continue to use, abuse, and manipulate you. So in that state of fearing the consequences, understand you've already gone through the very thing that you're afraid of going through. And when that resonates, when that lands, when that absorbs, when that clicks, when that connects, there's this, oh, okay, and I don't need to do all the things today. That's when time gets to be on your side. And that's when time gets to be your ally instead of your enemy. When you get to say, okay, one more thing, just one more thing. I don't need to do all the things. I don't need to fear the consequences. I've actually already lived through all the consequences. So if I'm moving towards betterment and empowerment and freedom, how could it be that I can't make it through what I've already gone through? You already have. Make sense? So the very consequence that you're fearing is something you've already experienced. It's something you've already lived through. You've already survived through. And in the state of, I can't make it through the consequences, you're in a state of feeling stuck. So when you're ready to move out of the state of being stuck and out of the state of fearing the consequences, you've just got to understand there's just the next thing to do. That's the only thing there ever is to do, is just that next thing, and not fearing what it's going to be like 10 steps down the road, because you're not there yet. You couldn't even be there yet if you wanted to be there, because you're here. Make sense? So understand that about that. And really, truly, what exponentially helps is recognizing and realizing where you're at, where you want to be, and what it's going to take to get there. One more thing. And when you're doing that in connection, in a way that your path is aligned with your desires and your beliefs are aligned with those desires, then everything gets to happen much more smoothly and easily. When you're doing them against beliefs that you have about yourself, like you're trying to get out and live a better life for yourself, but you have an internal unconscious belief that says you don't deserve to have a better life. You deserve this life because of all the things that you've done, and your identity gets wrapped around the things that you've done and not who you are, not the truth about who you are, that you are good enough, that you are worthy, that you are deserving of love, that you are deserving of good things happening to you, with you, in you, and for you. Then you're going to be out of alignment. Then it's going to feel so much harder. So when your inner and internal unconscious beliefs are in alignment with the direction that you want your life to go, it gets to go there much more smoothly, easily, quickly, and fast. Got it? Okay. When you're ready for that, I would love to connect with you. I'd love to see you in our program, Transforming Past Pain to Present Power, where we do this. It's a self-guided self-study course with rapid transformational therapy sessions with powerful life-changing exercises that take you and guide you along that journey. Or you can see about working one-to-one together. Totally up to you. The path and the choice is yours. And you don't need to fear the consequences. You've already lived through them. Just look forward to a much better life. Okay, that's it. Love you. Bye for now.